Ever felt utterly alone, lost in a crowded room? Marcus did. His story, The Man by the Bookshelf, explores that deep solitude. Discover how one brave step, a simple conversation, can transform isolation into genuine connection. This isn't just a tale, it's a powerful guide to conquering social fears and finding your tribe. Watch now to unlock the courage within. Marcus clutched his beer, the plastic slick against his sweaty palm. The party roared around him, a chaotic symphony of laughter and music that only amplified his solitude. He felt like an alien dropped onto a foreign planet with no translator. The city was supposed to be an adventure, a fresh start. Instead, it felt like a vast, indifferent ocean, and he was a tiny boat adrift, desperately searching for a friendly shore. His phone buzzed in his pocket, a digital lifeline he clung to like a drowning man. He scrolled through Instagram, each filtered photo a reminder of the effortless joy he couldn't seem to grasp. Every laugh he heard was a reminder of his own silence. He felt like an actor who had forgotten his lines. He knew why he was here, to connect, to build a life. But the chasm between intention and action felt impossibly wide. Every attempt to join a conversation ended in a mumbled excuse and a hasty retreat. Just one more lap, he promised himself, and then he could escape, guilt-free. He navigated the crowded room like a ghost, unseen, unheard, a shadow moving through a vibrant world. Then he saw her. Standing by the bookshelf, a silent observer in a room full of noise. She wasn't on her phone or laughing with friends. She just stood there, quietly contemplating the spines. Hope flickered, a tiny spark in the darkness. Maybe he wasn't the only one who felt like an outsider. Maybe, just maybe, there was a kindred spirit in this crowded room. His heart pounded, a frantic drumbeat urging him forward. He swallowed his fear, took a breath, and began to walk towards the bookshelf. "Sorry to interrupt," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "I'm just a sucker for a good bookshelf. Anything you'd recommend?" Ella turned, a flicker of surprise in her eyes, quickly replaced by a relieved smile. "Oh, thank God," she laughed. "I was trying to look intellectual, but really I was just hiding." The tension in Marcus's shoulders eased. He laughed, a quiet, genuine sound that surprised even him. The ice had broken. "I'm Marcus," he said, extending a hand. "Ella," she replied, her smile widening as she shook it. They talked about books, about moving to a new city, about the strange loneliness that can exist even in a crowded room. Ella confessed her own struggles with anxiety, how parties felt like auditions she was destined to fail. Marcus nodded, understanding echoing in his eyes. He shared the voice in his head that told him to shrink, to hide, to disappear. She listened, without judgment, offering a gentle smile of recognition. The weight of their shared anxieties seemed to lighten just a little. The simple act of being understood was a balm to their weary souls. The party noises faded into the background, replaced by the quiet rhythm of their conversation. They were no longer alone. They talked about favourite authors, about mispronounced book titles, about the small absurdities of life that only another bookworm could truly appreciate. Time seemed to stop. The party, The city, the anxieties, all faded into insignificance. There was only the moment and the connection. When Marcus finally left, he carried a different kind of warmth within him. It wasn't the manufactured heat of the party, but the genuine glow of human connection. He hadn't exchanged numbers, hadn't made any grand promises, but he had found something more valuable, a glimmer of hope. The anxious voice was still there, but it was quieter now, less insistent. He knew it would always be a part of him, but it didn't have to define him. He realized that connection wasn't about conquering fear, but about finding the courage to be vulnerable, to reach out to another lonely soul. And sometimes all it takes is a good bookshelf, a shared love of stories, and a little bit of courage to start a conversation. The city didn't feel so vast and indifferent anymore. It felt like a place where connections were possible, where friendships could blossom. He thought about Ella, hoping she was feeling a little less alone too. Maybe they would see each other again. Maybe not. But even if their paths never crossed again, he would always remember the moment by the bookshelf, the moment he found the courage to reach out. He knew that every small act of bravery, every hesitant step towards connection, could change everything. The world was still a scary place, but it was also a place filled with possibilities, with people waiting to be found, with stories waiting to be shared. And so Marcus walked on, ready to face the world, one brave step at a time. The end.